Good morning, Canadian Yarn Heart. My name is Alyssa, and today we are just doing a quick coffee cup cozy. I was asked about this yarn a few weeks ago, so I made this up really quickly, and I thought it would be a really nice, quick coffee cozy for winter. I'm going to move you over to the overhead cam, and I'll start talking to you about all the different, the yarn, all the stuff I use. As you can see, our always Willow's in the background, and I'm sure he'll probably get involved, so we'll move you over right now. So I was asked a few weeks ago if this yarn is possible to be washed and dried, and I did do that. I will show that. Here is the one I washed. Let's turn on the light. I don't know if you can see, it is maybe a little bit matted, a little bit not as soft. If you watch my daily update about it, this is much softer. So if you wanted to put it in and put it on a lower temperature setting, might be a good idea. I would be okay putting it in. But what we're using is the Caron Cloud Cakes. So it is a 4 medium. It recommends a 4.5 millimeter needle and a 4.5 millimeter hook. I'm going to use a 4 millimeter hook. And we're going to get started. So I'm just going to move the yarn. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a magic circle. And you are going to chain 2, 1, 2. If you've seen any of my other videos, this won't be new because this is pretty much what I did with the other ones. This is my standard base. It makes it easy. My yarn's getting all tangled. And so now you're going to single crochet 6 stitches in the magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're going to take the tail and you're going to tighten it up. Now, if you are a new viewer, thank you very much for coming. I very much appreciate it. If you are a returning viewer, thank you very much. I do very much appreciate that too. I do hope to earn your like and subscription. What we're going to do here is we're going to have 2 single crochets in each stitch. This is what's called increasing. And to those who have seen these videos, yes, this is very similar. It will change when I get to the base of it done. But I do hope to earn your like and subscription. I would love to hear you in any questions, comments, or concerns below. If you just want to say hi, or if you want to tell me where you're from, or if you're interested in having your own channel and having me check it out, I don't mind doing that either. So now that we've done a single crochet, 2 single crochets in each stitch, you're now going to grab that and you're going to slip stitch and you're done row 2. Now row 3 is 1 single crochet and then an increase, so 2 single crochets. And you're going to do that all the way around. So 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets. And you're going to finish the entire row just continuing doing 1 single crochet in a stitch and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. This is row 3. You're going to want to go more than normal. I normally say, I'm pretty sure something like, I think it's 3 stitches or 3 or 4 stitches in between each increase. I know I had to go a little bit larger on this one because it is a little finer yarn. It is a very nice yarn though. It's a very nice soft yarn. 1 and 2. So this next one will be 2 single crochets and then an increase. So 2, so you go 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and then your increase. We are going to continue that. I think it was 5. So you do 5 stitches in between each increase. So like this one's 1, 2, and then increase. You're going to want to continue this pattern until you have 5 stitches in between each increase. I'm going to continue that and I will be right back. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I have my 5 stitches in between each increase. If you notice, there it is a little hard because it's black. There is a full row in between the cup and that, so we've got the good height. So now I'm going to go 1 single row of single crochet around just to give you a little bit of an edge, and that'll just give you a little bit of a lip up because you're not increasing, which will help when you start to do the shell stitch, because this is just a basic shell stitch. If you saw my puffy shell hand towel, which is one of the earlier videos I have, it's a very similar pattern. It's not quite identical to it. You have to you switch the place where you place the hook. So the hook goes into a slightly different spot, making it a very different pattern. So it goes from a very texturized puffy pattern to just a regular shell pattern, which is what I've done for the coffee cup. So there are variations to this stitch, and basically this stitch is, it's one of my favorites, very easy stitch to do. So we're just going to keep going around in a circle for it to give yourself just a little bit of a lip, which will give a really nice start. And your first row will go continually, so you won't put, your first shell row will completely attach itself, and then all the shell rows after that, you will have to make room for the handle, unless of course you're doing a cup. If you're doing a cup, then just continue on. Don't bother, pardon, don't bother making the space for the handle, but because I'm doing a coffee cup cozy, I need to make the space for the handle. So we're almost done that single crochet row, and that is basically just to give yourself just a nice working row that doesn't, that's just a little bit of a lip, gives you a good place to start. So now you're just going to slip stitch there, 2 up, single crochet here, wrap around the needle, 1, 2 in that third space from the hook, 1, 2, and you do 5 double crochets in that same space. So you're just going to keep going, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to go 1, 2, and the third whole space, and you yet again do a single crochet. Wrap around the hook, 1, 2, third from the hook. You're going to do a next shell stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Of course, my variegated yarn makes it to the dark spot while I'm teaching. 1, 2, and 3. And you're just going to keep repeating all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, and here's your next shell stitch. And then 1, 2, and 3, and you just keep going. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, and 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3. Next shell stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and 3. Now you're at your last spot, so you go 1, 2, 3, and you make sure you have plenty of stitches in between, so you'll be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that'll come right here. And I'm going to have the 2 there, so you're just going to slip stitch those 2 together. Now you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and you're going to go 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, so you're doing a half shell here. You're going to grab that stitch at the top and make a single crochet, and now you're just going to go into the bottom of each single crochet. You're going to go through the single crochets and you're going to do the next shell stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're just going to single crochet at the top of the shell stitch. And that is pretty much how you're going to do this. I will show you what will happen at the end of the row, so I'll stick with you till the end of the row. Just that way you can see how I finish the row off and go to the next row. 3, 4, and 5. And you just keep going in the top stitch. And then the bottom stitch gets 5 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, top of the shell stitch, and then 5 more in the single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The single crochet or the shell stitch, and then make another 5 in the single crochet. 4 and 5. And then we're almost there. So we've got one last full shell stitch, and then you're going to do a half shell again. 3, 4, and 5. So there's the top of the stitch. Now what you're going to do is a half shell stitch. So you're going to come down here and you're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now, if you were to be doing a cup, I would suggest you go in here, you slip stitch these 2 together, and you grow up the next row. Because we're making the room for the handle, we're going to chain 2, turn, single crochet in the top stitch, and continue on with your 5 double crochets for the shell stitch in the single crochet. I'm going to continue this on until I have, so what you're going to see here is it may be harder to see the shell stitch. Let me see if I can find it better on this one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on one row. So that would be 10 rows. So I will be back after my 10 rows. So 3, 4, 5. I do hope to earn your like and subscription. if you are new, I don't know if I've said this, it's been a long day. If you are new, thank you very much for joining. If you are an old viewer, thank you very much for coming back. I appreciate both of you. Like I said, I do hope to earn your like and subscription. Don't know if I've said this before. If I do happen to repeat myself in a video, it's because I'm not sure I've said it and I would rather not forget to say it. So, do apologize, but so I'm going to keep going and I will be back when I have my 10 rows. So I have my 5 rows, pretty sure, and I do like how it's sitting. And even if it wasn't 5 rows, it is where I'd like it. So I like how it's sitting. So now I'm going to pull the cup out. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. Then I'm going to grab the other end. And there's a stitch right there. I'm going to slip together and there. And if you do happen to do this pattern with cloud cakes, I'm just going to show you how close I am to the next color. So if you have the variegated one, know that it's almost one full color is almost a full one of these. So just so you know for future knowledge. And this is 100% polyester, in case you didn't know that, in case you don't know much about these cakes. These are really nice caron cakes, I will admit. I love the feel of them, and they're really nice to work with. So we're just going to darn in. I'm going to go double back, just so I know I've done a really good darning in job for the handle. Out, trim it, and there you have it. There's the coffee cup cozy, the shell stitch coffee cup cozy. Fits really nicely. I mean, if you want to tighten it up, I mean, heck, that one actually might not need. I might go back and pull out that chain too, because I have learned that it doesn't always need it. So if it is a little loose, you don't want that. So I'm going to find my yarn and I am going to fix that, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you right now how it's loose, and that's just going to mean it's going to fall off of you. So I am going to figure it out. I will be back in a second and I'll show you what it looks like without that. So now that I've got my end out, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to come out, take out this loop, and this way, if you do happen to do it and you do happen to put too long of a chain on and tie it up, it is easy enough to come back to. That might not be the right one. But now what you can do is, because I do know I have a lot of space here, I'm going to grab the loop, pull it through, and now, as you can see, it's a lot tighter in there. This yarn, and now you can see it is definitely not as loose. It won't fall down on you, and it'll be a lot nicer. So I'm going to darn that up right now. I'm going to come back and I'll show you how it looks like when I have it on, and I'll take a picture and I'll see you again. Be back in a sec. So here we go. I'm just going to put it on. And it is a little light and a little loose. If you wanted to go around, I might do this still because I haven't shown. But you just come in because it is a little loose there. So I might actually get to have... This is a great way to tighten up anything that you have that you don't want so loose on something. So I'm going to crochet 3, I'm going to skip 1, 2, and I'm going to crochet 3. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, so 4. So you do 4 on the top, skip 2, and then you do 4 on the top. 1, 2, 3. and 4. So you're just going to go around the top. I've done this with actually this one. This was the interlocking diamonds one. It was just a little bit loose, like very, very fractionally loose. So I just went around the top and I've tightened it up. It's a great way to tighten up. Sorry. It's a great way to tighten up to tighten up a top that you know is a little tighter than you want, or I'm sorry, a little looser than you want. And you just want a little bit tighter of a fit. What you want to do is just kind of go around in a single crochet, and that'll really give you a nice tight, or a tighter. If I really wanted to make it tight, I would drop the hook size. But I think this will be enough just by skipping those 2 stitches. And if it's not, pull it out and try again. So, and then you can see there's 2 stitches there I'm skipping. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I am going to go across here, so there's a couple stitches here, just because this is where your handle goes. You want to just kind of reinforce that it's not a weak point. So you just want to go across it. And then I'm going to slip stitch at the beginning. I'm going to trim. I'll try this on and we'll see how much tighter this is. As you can see, it looks a lot tighter, but there is some stretch to this yarn. Pardon me. So now when putting on, pardon me. There you go. It's a little bit higher than I want it, but that'll stay on your cup a lot better. And yet again, I still didn't make it to purple. So I'm going to darn this end in. As you can see, here's the 2. I'll probably show the green one a little bit because I did not know I was going to be stuck in this black for this demonstration. I do apologize about that. It's a problem with variegated yarn. I had made one in between here that used a little bit more than I thought it would. It was a bit more of a yarn eater than I expected, and then I was stuck with black for this one, but I do apologize. So there it is on. As you can see, it gets easier every time. Once you get it on the first time, it is always so much easier, and I don't like a rolled lip, so I like to fix that. There's my cup. There's the other one. I'll show it on, just so you can see, maybe see a bit more details in the blue, because you didn't see a lot in this one. This one, I did end up going around here because it was loose there. Maybe I didn't do quite as many around the bottom on this one. So I do like this one a little bit better because you have the scalloped edge, but it's nice and tight. And there you go. I hope to see you again and have a wonderful day. Bye.